In this video, I will talk about step 4 of the PIVC protocol, reporting. So when reporting, we're communicating our results. And on the map is the last step of our flowchart. This session covers reporting basics, standard statements, classes of recommendations, and key elements of the report. This is a major step and not one that we should take lightly. We need to provide sufficient detail to allow informed decision-making, informed action. And it needs to be tailored to the audience. So it could be actually several reports, a technical summary, an executive summary of some sort, briefing notes, a detailed report, PowerPoint presentations, and the like. We need to provide a statement of limitations. What was and what was not covered? What timeframes did we consider? Which climate models did we use? Is there any missing data? What sort of uncertainties did we encounter? And what steps did we take to address any missing data that we did encounter? So all of this will provide context for the assessment. We need to provide a statement of vulnerability and resiliency. Answer the question, is this infrastructure at risk because of changing climate conditions? Provide a concise answer and outline the context for any of the limitations we may have encountered. It may take the form of something like the statement here given in the example. This infrastructure is generally resilient to changing climate conditions anticipated over the next 20 years, with the exception of these items that are vulnerable to projected climate changes in Y over that same time horizon. And this opinion is based on information available at the time of this assessment. A key part of the report will be our recommendations, and we'll break these out into 4 categories. No action at this time, some remedial action required, management actions required, or additional study may be required. For the items where there is no action required at this time, the risk is within the appetite of the organization. Typically, these are going to be low-risk items, some medium-risk items perhaps, and they're all currently under control. We need to monitor the situation because the risk profile can change over time because of changes in climate or in the operating environment of the system. For remedial action items, action is required to bring the risk within the appetite of the organization. These could involve engineering solutions or refurbishing or rebuilding. Generally, this may be the first response offered up by technical teams, but cost can become an issue, so we need to consider the cost benefits of these recommendations and the risk tolerance of the organization. For management action, we can reduce risk without physical intervention. Typically, these are things like new procedures, new guidance documents, adjustments to policy, and training programs. And then finally, more study. Deeper analysis may be required to characterize a risk, understand the climate event a little bit better, or develop some treatment options. This may require additional engineering, climate work, some modeling, or even cost development. Detailed recommendations can be out of scope of the assessment. During the course of our work, treatment options can arise from discussions with the owner, stakeholder input at workshops, and the previous experience of the teams that we consult. In this case, we gather that sort of information, and we'll share preliminary options with the owner. And we need to clearly identify where more work is needed to further resolve these recommendations. The principal elements of the report will include a summary of findings, limitations, the vulnerabilities, the adaptive capacity of the system, initial recommendations, infrastructure that needs more evaluation, other trends and insights, and conclusions. The key points to take away from all of this that different audiences need different reports. We need to provide statements of limitations and vulnerability, and this is a major step in the assessment process.